One thing I wish I had done in college was get involved earlier. I think that I tried to be too cool for school too early on, and I was like, oh, I don't need to join Ultimate Frisbee, or I don't want to go watch the improv club. And I missed out on some opportunities my first year and made up for it my second and third and fourth year, but I wish I would have gotten involved sooner.
One thing that I wish I would have done in college is a little more travel, perhaps like a study abroad experience. I think that's a good time to do it when you don't have your own family and you're not tied down, and you have the opportunity to learn in a new country and experience another culture. So that's one thing.
I also wish that I would have gone and studied abroad somewhere, even if it was just for a few weeks, and just gotten some different life experiences that would help me have a better perspective of working with diverse students and people.
One thing I wish I would have done in college was study abroad. I think that experience is something that you cannot get at any other time. So really looking into it and seeing if it's going to be feasible for you or not, I think studying abroad would just be an experience that you'll never get again.
So in undergrad, I was really involved. I played sports and I was a part of student orgs, but one thing I didn't do that I wish I would have done is travel abroad. I had 3 or 4 different opportunities and I just didn't take advantage of those opportunities, and I wish I would have traveled abroad in college.
So my question is, what was the best part of Gear Up 2.0 that you've experienced? And I would have to say all 4 years has been just such a joy to be with these kids and learn their history and their story and their passion and what they want to do. But the best part has really been the culmination of senior year coming together. I've had so many kids come in and tell me and show me their financial aid letters or their acceptance letters, and just the joy on their face to see that they are making a step forward for their future, and they're excited about doing something that they love. And some of them have come in with their financial aid letter knowing that their expected family contribution is 0, and the fact that they're actually going to be able to afford to go to college because we did the FAFSA together, and just watching that whole process come together has just been amazing.
The best part of Gear Up 2.0 is our students. It is really special to be able to walk with our students through all kinds of challenges, to get to know them as people. I think it's a really unique aspect of our program that we have Gear Up coaches in the building. Those Gear Up coaches get to be an extra layer of support, a person who is an invested adult, who cares, who gets to know what challenges are happening at home, what a student's particular strengths are. I think that's something that's missing, is that level of commitment and engagement in our schools, to have somebody really specifically truly invested in following along the lives of a cohort of students.
Well, first of all, the opportunities that the students now have for college and career counseling is so different than from when I was in high school going into college. I just had this conversation with a fellow classmate from a long time ago, and we were just kind of joking that we thought people talked to the counselors were the kids that had troubles. And I think that if I would have known that there were resources out there to get some help with what do I want to do. It's such a scary, exciting time of your life to figure out what you're going to do for the rest of your life, what past high school. And I just think that if I could go back to that 18-year-old and had the support like something like Gear Up, I would have explored so many different opportunities, and I probably would have done a lot of things differently. I would have gone to a university, didn't realize I could, and I want these kids to know that they can do absolutely anything. That's what we've been telling them since we started with this group of students, and I think that that's something I wish I would have known. I wish I would have known there were people out there to help me figure things out.
A piece of advice I'd like to share with students, both my own and others, is that there's no one path for success. My generation was told one particular message, and that was that we were a failure if we didn't go to post-secondary school. That's not true. That's not true at all. There are multiple pathways to success. It can be trade school, it can be vocational, you can get a short-term certificate, you can get stackable credentials. There are multiple ways to be successful, and you just have to figure out what is right for you and do something. It doesn't mean that you can't do anything, you have to do something.
So the piece of advice I would like to share with students is that when you get on college campus, try your best to not stay in your room, get out, meet people, and just don't be afraid to be who you are. The other thing that I would tell you is don't be afraid that you're not going to be as successful as you were in high school, and that means that you're not going to succeed in college. My first semester in college, I came to midterms with like a 1.8, and I hadn't met anybody, and I was really nervous. I was in my room all the time, and then I just decided to break out of my shell and try to be who I was in high school, a little more outgoing, a little more talkative with people. And then I started learning study groups and meeting with people, and by the finish of my semester I finished with a 3.2. So at midterm I was going to quit. I was going to go home, and this wasn't for me, and I was not a college student. I was a first generation student, and I wasn't going to be successful, and those were the thoughts that were going through my head. And I want to tell you that when those thoughts go through your head, keep going, because you will definitely make it if you just give it your all.